Greetings. Today I want to talk to you about the definition of human nature. We discussed this thing we call human nature. If anything bad happens, it's human nature. When we get angry about something, it's just human nature. We all seem to know all about it, but do we really understand what it is and how it works? If we are not able to define our nature, then it becomes impossible for us to understand it. In my book, The Purpose of Human Existence, I give a definition of this nature of ours and what it is and its characteristics. If we can define it, then we will begin to understand why it can have such bad outcomes. I know that our nature has some good results, but what I'm trying to explain is the overall definition. Whether our nature brings good or bad results, the definition is still the same. The definition is wrapped up in this thing we call free will. We need to realize that free will must be controlled, and our human nature has everything to do with the control of that free will. This human nature affects our lives in all that we do and in all that we hope to do. The problem we have with understanding this nature of ours is because of the nature itself. I tweeted recently, why is something so easy to believe and yet so difficult when it comes to changing our minds? Changing our minds is really an admission that we are wrong about something, and our basic nature doesn't like that. If you're ready for the definition of human nature, here it is. Human nature is free will without positive direction, fueled by pride, self-interest, self-importance, self-righteousness, self-will, and a totally self-focused and a self-centered attitude. Or another way explaining it could be free will without humility. The characteristics of pride, self-interest, self-importance, self-righteousness, and self-will are all interchangeable words whose meanings are very similar. They can also be explained as simply a lack of humility. To fully understand our nature, we should think about the definition and how it applies to us. We humans seem to walk around in this cocoon of pride and self-importance. Apply your own life and these actions to these explanations, and it becomes much clearer. The reason why it is so difficult to understand is because we can't see our own pride or our own attitude of self-importance and self-righteousness because of our self-focus. This nature is like that proverbial mustard seed that has been planted deep within the minds and the very core of our minds. The problem in this world today can be laid at the feet of this nature of ours. Government's out of control, conflict everywhere. Religion is not immune to this nature of ours, refusing to look at unhealthy doctrines. Our family's in disarray, and it all is because of this nature. While we are addressing this subject, I will give you a definition of peace. Peace is the cessation of hostilities within the heart of mankind. Permanent peace will not be realized until this nature of ours is changed. Our nature is a real culprit, and our nature just happens to be Satan's nature. Go figure. We are learning what caused Lucifer to sin was pride and self-importance. We are also experiencing the results of a prideful and a self-serving nature. The reason we must learn these lessons is because when we are born into God's world, we will have a full understanding of what evil is and what causes it. Therefore, there will be no hostilities remaining within our heart. God will remove Satan's impregnated nature and give us his nature. We will then have a nature of peace and love and hope coupled with perfect minds. We will then have the lessons learned on this earth firmly implanted within our perfect minds. We won't sin or rebel because just like God in Christ, we will choose not to. Our minds will be wiped clean of pride and self-importance and will be replaced with God's nature. A final thought about this nature of ours is we can't fully understand or be able to see it because of our nature itself. We have it and we expertly hide it from ourselves. I have written a book, The Purpose of Human Existence. This is a fairly short book explaining why God made us physical and limited our lives to approximately 70 years. There's a chapter in this book called A Conversation, and it is a discussion between God and Christ and why they needed to create us physical beings before allowing us into their world. It is an exciting book, and it is logical, and it includes every human being that has ever lived. Your life is more valuable than you know, and much more valuable than religious leaders have told you. This book is on Amazon.com, and you can find us on Facebook at L. Wayne Author. Thanks.